Can you believe it? 2 fucking years. I sent out a tweet um, stating two to ADHD girls sticking with something for this long because my dumbass would not have stuck with a hobby for this long because I always have new hobbies to do. Speaking of, I've been reading a lot.
Yeah.
Like
Did you
a
switch the
what was that?
title card? Did you switch the title card?
I did. Did I not?
It's not
It says
updating
it's
all.
updated. Hold up. Episode 81 2-year anniversary extravaganza.
Yeah. So why is it still saying starting soon?
Oh, my bad. Eh. I hope y'all like it. Uh yes, I went all out. I'm so excited for this. McFucking years is trademark. Prepare for DMC takedown. Hold a Damn it! I already fucked up on our 2-year anniversary extravaganza.
Yeah, which is technically tomorrow, but
It's
tomorrow.
technically tomorrow, but we can't right now. As many ideas as we have for being able to make this extravaganza amazing, life just gets in the way, that we were unable to make it as fun as our first year. But when things settle down, we'll do a little something special.
Yeah.
I think it's just when things have to settle down because life, the world, it's too crazy, way too fucking crazy. So, did you think we would get there? Did you think we would make it for 2 years?
Yeah.
You had that belief we just never had anything to run out talk about.
Kinda, but it's one of those things that's we're both ADD. Like once it's a routine, we're not really gonna let it drop.
I think that's true. Once we actually stick to it,
Yep.
that's fair. So, in those 2 years, I have questions, by the way, because I always do, obviously. Um, you're doing 104 weeks later, so it counts as 2 years. Yeah. So, dear Abby, I have a list of questions that normal
Yeah.
people in their anniversary would ask. What what is one episode that you really had fun with in the 2 years? So now we have more episodes to ask these questions with. What is one of the favorite episodes that you've done?
At this point for 2 years, I don't think it can be one. I would say the top three or the top five.
All right, let's
At the
do
two
top
years.
3. Let's do top 3 after 2 years.
Um,
I feel like it gets
so the
harder
one
every
that
year.
yeah, it's within the first year, it makes sense at the top one because there is only 52 episodes. Not really because we skipped some weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But at 2 years, it's we have 80 other episodes. So narrowing it down to
That's
one would be very difficult.
true. 81.
So
81 McFucking episodes, dude.
this is 81. Well, oh wait, no, we've missed. No, yeah, it's
We've missed a
81.
few. Mm-hmm.
Um, so I would say it's not number one, but one of my favorites that sticks out to me is the Cinderella, which was the
Oh,
Cinderella,
yes.
which was a lot of fucking fun to do. Like us preparing for it, we don't really prepare for shit
No, we
at all
don't.
because we're adults, we're ADD, we're very very busy.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a lot of fun to sit down with the girls and watch some Cinderellas and then actually sit down and argue very reasonably what is the best Cinderella and by category too.
But also, we watched a lot of those films.
We did.
Like, that's what
And
also made it fun. Is like, all right, this is something we are both very passionate about as the different kinds of Cinderellas we grew up with. And so it
yeah.
was nice to be able to share our love for these different Cinderella films with we weren't just watching it with each other, we were watching with our friends to share that with everybody. I think that was a
other
good.
Disney buffs, other like
Yes.
that can appreciate like the variety that there are Cinderella movies and things like that. Um, and like us doing it as adults, because I feel like if I had done this as like a child or a teenager or something like that, I wouldn't be able to like fully communicate everything that's great. Like with my Cinderella, or like fully
I
get
love
past
that
my
we still do my Cinderella. Like
my
we
Cinderella,
know exactly which way we're talking about.
but I wouldn't be able to get past my ego of like a teenager to appreciate your Cinderella.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I can understand that. I
So it was like a lot of fun to do as an adult.
Oh, yeah,
Not
yeah.
necessarily number one, but it was like a lot of fun. Um, like my two others would probably be talking about Clone Wars with Zane Vlader and
Mhm. Cuz that's something you've always been
Bad Batch.
passionate about.
Yeah, and you actually saw the evolution of my obsession with Clone Wars.
I did.
'Cause me and my husband started watching it during the pandemic, and Ricey working with me, like in person outside of the podcast, IRL saw my descent into madness with Wars.
Now I get
Shit would
Rex
happen, and
TikToks.
I would,
Now I get Rex
yeah, you do.
TikToks. It's peak fandom right here.
It's just like she would see my descent into madness. Like something would happen in Clone Wars, I would come in and just lose my shit for like 2 hours to her. And then also the Bad Batch with Monty Fromage
Oh,
was
yes.
just like a shit ton of fun. Also just like anything we've done with Chelsea the Destroyer, because talking Modal Zushi with her and
Oh
like
my
the
god.
ending with her, like
Every time I think about it, I'm so
because
mad.
that was so early. That was so early
That
for us. That was
was.
like it was probably in like the original 10 episodes, like probably even the original 5 episodes.
Oh.
Like her coming on and talking Modal Zushi with us. Um,
Cuz that was
I just
episode 4. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Oh my
that holds
gosh.
a special like place in my heart because it was so early.
That's
Um,
God, I feel so old now. I can't believe it's 2
also like
years.
yeah, but also that's the best way to know how to trigger you was just talk about dimples.
Oh yeah, that's when you say Untamed, I just think I'm so mad. Like, okay, all right, I hate to say it, but I have an appreciation now for the Untamed, and I hate to say this because of my visual novels, and I'm reading a
Yeah.
very like dark-ish visual novel that not really has like a really good happy ending for a lot of them.
Oh,
So now I'm trying
yeah.
to try. I guess it's like I'm trying to learn that it's okay not to have a happy ending in a show because I want happy endings, but it's
Well, the ending was
romantically
still pretty
tragic.
happy
It
though.
is. It's more
It's
like a
just not what
romantically
you
tragic.
wanted.
No, I wanted them to kiss so bad. I wanted them to kiss. It's so
Girl, like,
tragic.
it's Chinese. They ain't gonna be
I
kissing.
know, I know. I'm expecting a lot. I'm just like, I want it all or nothing, but I understand. I totally understand, by the way.
Yeah, come on. You actually came in after our 1 year anniversary. So you've missed a lot, really.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, you did. Holy shit. Well, we're going to recap a lot of our favorites today, which I'm okay
So
with.
I
I have
said
so
my
much to
three,
talk
and then
about.
the one that holds a special place in my heart. So what are your top three?
Okay, so I don't know which episodes these are, but I am a
Yeah.
I like speaking and comparing stuff. So I literally am pulling up the list on my computer. The 2D versus 3D animation. I absolutely love because we went in depth. I was all in
That was a
for
lot
this
of fun.
2D 3D
That was
anime.
a lot of
I
fun.
love animation. I love it so much. I love art. I love animation. I just love talking about it. Because we even spoke like 2D animation is going to be timeless no matter what. I don't think it's really dated now. Now I feel like it's
Mhm.
more accepted. I'm going back into that mindset. And 3D animation is very dated in some ways. I still think, like, again, this is just a little snippet of what we were talking about. But it was popped up on my feed, the flight scene from How to Train Your Dragon with the music and the animation and the
Beautiful.
clouds. Beautiful.
God, nothing will ever top
I
that.
agree. When you first see it in theaters, like, and your heart just pounds with the music, it's so fucking good that it does something to
Like
me.
it is so good.
And
That holds up
it's
so
so
fucking
well, and I
well.
don't think that will ever be dated. I genuinely don't. Just that the sense you get when you first do that, see that, and the music and just everything. Oh
Mhm.
God,
I think, okay, so hear me out just for a second. ADD, here we go.
yeah.
I do think just because with how TVs, like personal TVs, at home TVs, things like that,
Hmm.
how they progress and get better and better graphics and everything like that, CG animation and just animation in general will show its age on TV.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like for like a really good experience, especially with something like the flight scene from How to Train Your
Oh
Dragon,
God, yes,
will never age on the big screen.
I agree. Put that shit in 4K, then it'll
Right.
never
So like
age.
I don't know how to describe it, especially since we're just trying to control our ADHD.
Yeah,
I genuinely believe that it will forever hold its quality on the big screen.
I can see that because honestly, the theater experience is always going to be different.
Yes.
Like with them, you have better sound systems. IMAX, especially if you could see that shit in IMAX, man, that would have been magical.
IMAX is so good.
I know, crystal
Also,
clear
like I've
picture
always said
quality.
that the audience experience is also something very
Oh
key.
yes.
And I feel like the flight experience is
Everyone,
it's
you can
one of
feel
the
it.
things
Everyone can feel it.
everyone can feel it. And
Yeah,
that just only amplifies what you feel as well.
yeah. Agreed. I agree.
Hmm.
Fucking love it. 10 out of 10. But yes, 2D versus 3D animation. Um, you already said Cinderella, so I'm gonna move on because I agree. That one is a very good answer. Uh, and then okay, so oh god, we talked about a lot of things. Okay, I know this. It's not on my list, but I know this is something that I absolutely love. Is my Descent into Madness with Moon Knight.
Oh, so not specifically one specific episode, but like the progression of
Yeah, well, it
many
started
episodes.
because remember, it started, and I didn't even. I like Moon Knight. I liked Moon Knight, and I was like, okay, I'm very excited. I wasn't excited as other fans, but I was excited to get a taste.
Right,
And because when I was there, I was like, well, this is a little different than what I expected. Loved it.
right.
Absolutely loved it. Oscar Isaac killed it. To this day,
Oh
there is
yes.
like, since we did that one podcast where we were talking about it, and we didn't even finish the show because the show wasn't finished then. But we had to
Yeah,
talk
because
about
we
it.
did like the halfway mark.
Yeah, but we had to talk
We did
about
the
it because
halfway
I
mark.
was like vibrating in my chair, just so excited to talk about it. Um, and almost every single podcast after that, we always dropped Moon Knight. It's just so good.
Yeah,
It's so
it's
shippable to just ship him with himself. It's just so good.
yeah. So like Steven and Jake and Mark, like that entire
Yes.
polycle different dynamic kind of situation.
Yes.
Agreed. Um, but also it's like it's probably the best and most well done miniseries that like
I
I've
have to
seen in like
agree.
the last 10 years, like honestly.
I have to agree. When it
Like
comes to like a
WandaVision was like
superhero,
amazing,
oh
but
yes.
like took it to like the next level.
I was about to say WandaVision was amazing. As the very first MCU show on Disney Plus,
Hmm.
amazing.
Hmm.
Loki also amazing. Don't get me wrong. I love Loki. But there's a special place in my heart for fucking Mark and
Legitimate.
Steven. And I have room, of course. I have so much room.
Can I can I ADD for a second?
Always, always ADD.
Again?
Always.
So I've mentioned the entire time we've been in Phase 4,
Mm-hmm.
from Black Widow to Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, like all of them I've always said it's like, okay, I can see where this series leads into the next series.
Oh yes,
I
yes. You,
can see where
mm-hmm.
this movie leads into the series, this series leads into the movie, different things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I finally realized after watching Thor: Love and Thunder on Thursday with my husband,
Oh
which
yeah.
is a pretty good movie. I would suggest people go see it. Um, I wouldn't necessarily say you have to see it on the big screen, but do give the movie a chance. Like watch it on Disney Plus, rent it from Redbox when it comes out, like do whatever.
Well,
I would suggest them seeing
I
it.
was about to say we'll
Um,
do a review on that on another time. But yes.
but like agreed.
Yeah.
But I realized that with Moon Knight, we actually get the introduction of gods.
Oh
Like a real
yes.
introduction of gods into the MCU, and Thor Love and Thunder expounds upon it. Yes, we understand that like
Ah.
Thor is the god of thunder, Loki's the god of mischief,
Yes.
but we've never gotten past that for real
Mm-hmm.
until like Moon Knight. When we're introduced to Khonshu and Amet and like all these in Tarwete, we're not like this was the first time we actually met other gods and real gods at that, and not just like almost humanized gods.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were introduced into more of the gods in Thor: Love and Thunder, like an entire pantheon of gods.
That's true. I think we had this conversation, but I'm glad we need to talk about it on the podcast. We talked about a lot
Yes,
of
I
shit.
would agree.
You know,
But yeah, another great thing about Moon Knight.
I mean, fucking Moon Knight. I think any time for both of us, the progression of how we speak about Moon Knight and how much we love
Mhm.
fucking Moon Knight and how we dragged everyone else to watch Moon Knight and ship in Moon Knight and read fan fiction of Moon Knight. We've descended into
Ma'am, you can
madness.
shut the fuck up about reading fan
Okay,
fiction in Moon
first of
Knight
all,
because you still haven't read them.
I guess I have. I just read the one shots though, because at the time I wasn't.
Yeah, and you didn't
At the
read the
time I wasn't.
Nubis
I was gonna
review.
say at the time I wasn't hyper fixated on reading, and now I'm so hyper fixated on just reading. I've been reading quote unquote
And you
reading through visual
still
novels
haven't
and my
read.
comics. So visual novels and comics so far, but I will be reading more fan fiction.
Sure,
I
sure,
have read.
sure. I give you.
I was gonna say I have read a lot of the Loki fan fiction and all that, but
Mm.
there's just something about Moon Knight from the one shots that I've read. I just love Moon Knight fan fiction. Let me just go put that out there for the world to hear.
All right, back on track, back on track.
Oh
So,
yes,
like,
yes, yes. Oh, and my third. Sorry, I didn't have a third. So, I believe the third one. Would it be weird to say that when we do a deep dive I guess this is again just I can't pick one. Maybe this is a cop out answer. The I guess it's just like when we deep dive into anything, whether it be Marvel or
mhm,
Moon Knight or Untamed or whatever.
mhm,
I love when we sit down and we actually have like, I guess not serious, semi-serious conversation on a topic, no matter how dumb it is. Um, like we did the media tropes. I'm looking at my list. And like, or how are we trying to convince? Again, I'm just looking at Kumo. The fucking Jackie Chan shit that happened on our podcast. So like, yeah, I do need to watch Jackie Chan. And the summer's almost over. I see Halloween shit being put up, so my days are numbered. Um, but
and numbered quickly.
oh heck yeah.
Um, I
But
would argue I don't think it's a cop out because I kind of cheated and did four because it's like Modao Zushi held like the episode with Chelsea and you
mm-hmm.
held a special place in my heart, so I picked four. I think that you like that because we're both introverts and we don't care for small talk.
No, I
We
don't.
like like being absolutely unhinged and deep diving into stupid
I
ass
love
shit.
it. I have. I don't. I agree. I don't like small talk. Talk to me about your passions because I'm here for
Yep.
them. I love when people talk about their
Mhm.
passions. Um, Like, I love it. Or and also like it's shit like this, like the little things that also our ADHD brain can come up with. But like we can deep dive and talk about something super serious, and then we come out of it and we talk about making bets about like Splatoon 3, bets for Splatoon 3 and shit.
I'm so excited. I still think
It's supposed to be
based on
coming
previous
soon.
formula
Mm-hmm.
that we'll start getting like actual announcements for the game more regularly starting next week.
Because we were
Um,
talking, yeah, I was about to say, we were talking gaming news, and we always talk about Splatoon 3, and it still hasn't shown up yet. Nintendo, what's going on? Like, at this
what
point,
the fuck?
I don't care about, like, the
Okay,
reveal. I just want them to give me a little bit more of Splatoon
we
3.
talked about this on Monday, like
Yeah,
personally and stuff, that Pokemon was gonna have like a direct
they
of like a
did.
conference kind of thing
Mm-hmm.
on Wednesday. And we both agreed that even though it was Pokemon, it was Game Freak doing this, that Nintendo wouldn't really step on toes. Because they didn't, like with Crimson and Violet coming out, they
Mm-hmm.
weren't gonna really draw attention away from it.
That's true.
So we weren't expecting any kind of announcement starting this week because of the Pokemon thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that again, I always said it's like I wasn't expecting anything in the first week of August because Splatoon 3 doesn't come out until the second week of September. And their formula is usually 4 weeks before.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was about to say, I'm still waiting.
I'm just as impatient.
I'm very impatient. I have no patience whatsoever. So I'm waiting. At this point, I don't care if I win or lose this bet. I just want to see
Yeah,
something. Like, I just want to see,
yeah,
give me
agreed.
something. I want to taste. I'm greedy.
Yeah.
Hi, Magnolia. Yeah, I'm a greedy motherfucker. I just want to taste. But yes. So I believe those, I guess that's, again, I use my last answer as a cop out answer, but I did give two episodes. So,
Yeah.
because I just love deep diving or talking and
Yeah.
shit, especially when we get hyped up on a debate. Oh my goodness. Good shit, dude. Good shit.
Because we like to bicker.
We do. And we know we like, and we understand each other that when we bicker, it's not out of maliciousness or anything.
Yeah,
It
and
scared
we have no
Chelsea.
problem with like calling each other out was like, hey, too far kind of
Oh
situation
yeah,
on either of us.
always. Yes.
But it does freak out the people around us. So we don't get to bicker openly as much as we
Do on a
like.
podcast. Oh yeah. Yes, as much as we like.
Well, we can't even really do it at work because it freaks out our boss really
Oh,
bad.
that's true.
So we can't do it around Chelsea because it does freak her out because like she's a non-confrontational kind of person with the people around her
Mm-hmm.
per se. She is, but she also isn't. She just rather not deal with it if it can be avoided.
Right. No, that's
Um,
fair.
and then our boss is a guy and terrified of powerful women, so we
Oh,
scare the shit out of him when we start to like really go at it.
absolutely true.
Because we'll like raise our voices, we'll slam our hands on desks. It's like we will go at it with our bickering, all in good fun.
All in good fun. I don't think they realize it. So it's interesting. I will say too, with the start of this podcast, when we started this
Yes.
podcast, we have a better understanding of each other and people's cultures and like our culture,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
which we've talked about in our podcasts, like in different episodes of our podcast. So I think now a lot of people have a better understanding of how we act because of our culture. Because I'm not to say I'm a confrontational person,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't run away from confrontation. So when someone wants to
Right.
debate me or like raise their voice, I'm like, yes, I'm hyped up too. Let's go, kind of deal. Like
We've talked about this outside of the podcast. Is you have big emotions,
I
and
do
there's
have big
nothing,
emotions, and I'm a
and you
Latina,
don't get
so
to flex your big emotions really with the
no.
people around. Like
But
you have family that you can do that with because it's your
oh
family,
yes,
but like outside of family,
no, because people get terrified. I'm a very, like you said, I'm a very spicy Latina, and I have a lot of big emotions, and a lot of people can't. I get it. A lot of people can't handle that. That's fine. I can be intense. That's fine. However, comma, the fact that you can, I'm like, all right, we're setting it all on the table. Let's go. That shit. Which is why I think our podcast works so well. At
I
least to
also think
us.
that's why like the Cinderella episode did so well.
I
Is
think
because
so.
it's like we did a lot of research for it, but we could go like full bicker on it.
Because we were passionate about which one's the best Cinderella. And I still think that
Yeah.
Brandy with Whitney Houston has an all-star cast, best Cinderella. But I
We
also
proved
respect.
that Ever After
There
was
you go.
better because it had the better villainess. It had the better like
Okay,
um
first of all, yes, it had a better villainess, but did you have a all-star cast with Whoopi Goldberg and Brandy and what is it? Fucking
we had Angelica Houston and Drew
Oh,
Barrymore.
that's true. But we had more. I'm just saying.
Like
And it was a
what? It's
musical.
like I will
Okay.
concede there was some
Hi,
very,
Nasia.
very amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah, oh yeah, ADHD moment. Sorry.
Gone.
Oh, we did talk about that Cinderella um
We did
the
poke
one
fun
with the
about that
dance,
one.
the one with the dancing. I do remember that. The one with
Yeah.
Selena Gomez as a dancer.
It was absolutely a product of its time.
It was, and I can appreciate that cuz didn't she lose like her a Zune? It wasn't even an iPod. It was a Zune, I think. Her music player. It's a product of the
Because we
No
used
one uses
everything
Zune.
but Apple products.
Yeah, that's true. Not the Zune. Does anyone remember that? I can appreciate it though. I can definitely appreciate the fucking movie because like
Yeah.
it's a young Selena Gomez. Um, but yes, I agree. Cinderella is good. We still haven't done Snow White, but that is something for the far future, not far future, near future. Hopefully, I'm gonna have to make another drink. Go ahead, go get you another drink. Um, but okay, so those are our favorite episodes. Oh yeah, I have a sun kiss because I haven't slept. So the that was the first question was what your favorite was.
Yes.
I want to talk about what are some topics that we like that you want to talk about but we just can't. You know what I mean? Like there are several topics that I would love to talk about but we just can't talk about. What are some of
So
those
I
for
know
you?
we have like several things lined up that we've been too ADD to like get to. So
Mm-hmm.
you go ahead and answer the question first and kind of give me example of like
Yes, yes,
what
yes.
you had in mind with that question.
Yes. Okay. So, for example, I have had ideas to like maybe do like an IRL stream or something. But as much as like my idea is to do like an IRL stream for like let's say we go to like a museum or something. We can take like take the kiddies on a road trip for an IRL stream. That's just an idea I
Yeah.
had. It's never going to work because my technology sucks to be able to like stream IRL. But I thought it would be one day like a good idea to take our podcast out and be like, oh, let's go to the McWayne Center or
I
let's do
would
something
I would
crazy.
actually really love to do that.
I know I've been
'Cause
wanting to do that, but
honestly,
like it's just hard because it's hard to be able
because I
to
grew
take
up
it.
around the Birmingham Museum of Art and I can like
Oh
we can walk through and I can give you all kinds of fucking details about that place. Like I would love to do that. Like take them to the zoo or take them to an
yes,
aquarium.
like
Like
go
I
on
would
a road not road trip, a field
and
trip
then
with the
just kind of
kiddies.
see us in our natural habitat and just like
Yes,
go off on stuff.
yeah, especially because we're so passionate about again with art, entertainment, science, all that shit. Those are our passions.
Hmm.
We love that shit. We love it so much. Um, that's an idea I would love to do. I also want to talk. I remember I was speaking to a friend of mine one day to talk about music, like I would love to talk about music, but the thing of it is, music is so broad, like just so
Hmm.
broad, that to be able to narrow down a topic for music is a little hard for me because I will go on an ADHD tangent on all kinds of music, um, of all kinds. But it's so hard for me to focus on one particular thing, you know?
It would also be difficult just because of like the MCA stuff and
Oh,
copyright
yes. And
claims.
yep.
Like wanting to talk about it and like have a song that people have never heard of, and it's like it would just be ideal if we could play it on the podcast kind of situation, but we
Yes.
can't. I mean, our listeners can always go and like look it up and listen to it, but
Yes.
that
But
would be hard for like when we're live.
yeah, but I mean, you've heard me talk about like film scores and everything. Like I
Yeah,
am deeply passionate about. I love music. And
yeah,
so, any chance I get to talk about like a film score, like I said, we were just talking about the score for How to Train Your Dragon. 10 out
yep.
of 10, everything was great about that score. And even to this day, adults who watch this as kids would have that in their playlist because of how iconic that song was. What was it called? Was it Taking Flight or something like that? The I have to play it actually. I'm not playing it on stream. I'm just trying to find it.
I mean, it could count under fair use, Kumo, but like that's not going to stop somebody from doing a copyright strike.
It's just a
Like,
flying theme, they said. That
yeah.
flying theme, 10 out of 10. Love it. Would a year count under fair use though? So one of the topics I had listed was talking about music that got us through our like youth, essentially, or like music. I had a lot of topics like music that gets you through like in our youth, which was a lot of alternative rock for me and some pop and hip hop, but also like I wanted us to do like a day where we talk about like creating our own soundtrack, but that would take too much time. Um, and also not only just too much time, it DMCA because I want to show these songs to you, but it's just hard. That's another thing. Music is just hard without getting copyright claimed.
Okay. So
It was a song that Moses split the sea apart. Wait, which one? Speaking of
that's
these sounds.
actually DreamWorks. If it's Prince of Egypt, that's DreamWorks. Like that, it throws people off every single time
Oh,
that it's like the Prince of Egypt is DreamWorks.
oh,
And
I
actually was being worked on at the exact same time as Shrek was.
yes. And if they didn't do good for the Prince of Egypt, they were sent to the Shrek film. They called it getting Shreked. That's a tip I
No,
found out
like
on TikTok.
legitimate though,
I
because that
know.
animation is so like that hand drawn animation is so good that a lot of people confuse it for Disney.
Does
It took me
Disney?
a very long time growing up to realize.
I'm actually Googling this now,
No.
Bubbly Faye. Also, hi, Bubbly Faye. Welcome to the podcast. First time.
Hello.
Um,
Um no, it like Disney owns Fox.
and also, didn't Disney own Blue Sky Entertainment for a while before they ripped that up from under them?
I don't know. I
We're
don't
big animation fans. But I do believe that's what
We're
happened.
big Disney fans is
Oh
what
yeah.
we are. Let's see here. You said Blue Sky?
Yes, that's the one who did the Rio and Ice Age. I think
Oh,
that's
I
what
thought
happened.
no, I thought they were always DreamWorks.
Wait, Blue Sky is DreamWorks? I thought it was Disney.
Um,
It's Disney. It was an American computer
oh, it
animation
was
studio.
it's 20th Century Fox, so it ended up under Disney with
Yes,
the purchase of Fox.
but
Okay.
they got that got scrapped, which is sad. Very sad. No Disney owned musical. I've been buying. They've been buying every company. Yes, I know. It's just expanding. Everything is owned by Disney. Everything. Um, but yeah. So what were we saying before this? I completely. Oh, music. So yeah.
So
It's just
things
a little
that
hard.
we would like to talk about that we couldn't
Yeah, we
for the
just can't.
podcast.
Yeah, like because of certain kinds of setbacks. Like how my mind was like just setbacks. I would love to talk about music. And another one that I would love to talk more about, but we just can't for my own reason, is a lot of the news that comes out. Because we did that one time, right? We did like a,
We've done it a couple of times.
yes, but you had to ring me in. Like you had to literally like, because I would get so worked up. and angry
Right.
that I would have you to be like, Rice, you need to calm down. And I'm like, fuck no, I can't calm down. But yes, I do need to calm down. So a lot of the news stuff I personally cannot talk about because of my own passion. I get too
Mm.
passionate about it. So
Your emotions are too big.
my emotions are too big and I have a lot of things I have to say. So that could get us in trouble.
Yeah.
That could literally get us in trouble. So I'm just like, okay, we can't talk about news because the few times we did do it, I got so caught up. Unless it's happy news, I can deal with happy news.
Yeah.
Like I'm all
Or
about.
just like news that we end up hearing about in regards to like some kind of entertainment thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like we
That's true.
really can't get
Yes.
into political stuff because that's almost too hot, really. Too hot of a topic.
No. Yes, I agree. I totally agree. Oh, Nausea, Multiverse of Madness. We actually have a podcast on that. We
We're gonna get into spoilers. Like we should have had the spoilers up the entire time, but
would it
yeah,
be
we
spoilers?
um kind of yeah because it's still within the first year of the movie being out.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, it's fine, Nasium. We had an entire episode on Multiverse of Madness.
We did. Oh, spoiling your own episodes for sure. No, we. I want to talk about Multiverse of Madness, but I also want to talk about in comparison to Thor: Love and Thunder because you
Okay, you
compared it.
really do need to watch it then.
Yeah, because you compared it to when you watched
Because
Thor: Love
the
and Thunder.
storyline flowed a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had my problems. I think it went a little too Taika Waititi at times. But this we weren't juggling two different main characters or like
Mm-hmm.
big main characters at the same time. Um along with kind of like having a new character.
Right.
Um with Thor Love and Thunder, we had Thor, we had Lady Thor. Like that's not a surprise fact at this point. She is all over the trailers and everything. She's
Yes.
a integral part of the story. Um and like we had Korg, we had Valkyrie. Like the only person that was new was our villain, which is standard. That is standard
Yes.
MCU algorithm is to introduce the new villain, deal with the villain, and move on.
That's yeah.
Unlike Multiverse of Madness, where we had Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch, and we were dealing with those two people separately throughout the majority of the movie, along with having like introduce a new character.
Mm,
And our villain was technically an established character.
that's true. But I mean, I said I was gonna see it. I just have to wait.
Yeah.
Um, but yes, that's I do. We are gonna talk about it once we've seen, or at least once I've seen it. Because again, Abby has been so wonderful, not spoiling anything for me, so I can also formulate my own opinion because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have a strong opinion on that as well. Knowing my dumb ass. Um, sorry. So those are mine that I have that I wish we could do, but we just can't. You know what I mean? Are there some good
Yeah.
examples?
Yeah, I think those are great examples. I can't really argue with any of them. I would agree that like I would say like the only thing that we really cannot, in my opinion, we really can't talk about is political topics.
No, yeah, I agree. But that's
Like
mostly
I
because of my
don't,
dumbass. Because I am incredibly passionate
yeah.
by it.
But addressing the comments real quick, Magnolia, I would suggest watching it. I really do. I mentioned it earlier that it's like you don't have to go see it in on the big screen. I do think it's a really fun time to watch it on the big screen. But you should watch it. Disney Plus, renting it from Redbox. Wait until your local library has it, then check it out there. I would suggest watching it. It's fun. Um, I because there are two directors for Thor: Love and Thunder. It's Taika Waititi and another director. Their techniques clash really bad, and you can kind of see it clashing at times. But over like having those moments separated and their own things, they're actually very, very good moments. And I suggest watching it. I still suggest seeing it. You just don't have to see it on the big screen. I would argue that you need to see Spider-Man No Way Home on the big screen.
Oh
But for
yes.
Thor Love and Thunder, I would not say you have to see it on the big screen. Just that you should go see it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
get a hold of it somehow and watch it. Multiverse of Madness. You don't have to see it. You don't really have to see it because it doesn't really lead to anything.
No, it just introduced new characters though. That's the thing with the multiverse of madness.
A new character, just
A
one
oh
new character.
yes, that's
Also,
true.
Nauseum, Natalie Portman is amazing and like can't argue with her. She was amazing in Clone Wars. Like she was just amazing in the prequels. Period. She was so good in the prequels. Um, Natalie Portman was Padme Amidala in the Star Wars prequels.
Oh no, that I knew. I forgot that Nasium was. He should have been here earlier when we were talking about freaking Star Wars earlier today. Had that Star Wars topic.
Extremely gay plate carrier. What are you talking about, Nauseum?
We need to know. But while we're thinking of that, did you have any others, or is that what was that the only answer?
I think yeah, I think like I think we can do a lot of different things. I think we could eventually end up talking about music. It would just be like a very awkward. It wouldn't be very inclusive with our live viewers, but we could still technically do it. Just tell them like very good details about
Mm-hmm.
which specific version. I think that we could eventually get to have the technology to take our little
On
viewers
field
on a field
trips.
trip.
That's what I want to
Yeah.
do so bad. I think that'd be fun.
Um.
Like I think that would be great if we went to Disneyland or Disney World for one day.
Yeah.
We can take an hour out of our day to go take a ride with the with the stream viewers. I think that would be cool. But those are just because I plan big things that it's sometimes just impossible to do. Um, so here's another question I have. What is
Yeah.
one topic that we've talked about in previous episodes that you're like, we didn't talk about it enough or we didn't talk about it as well? I want to do it again.
Bitch, you better not say Moon Knight.
I was gonna no. Okay, first of all, I
Bitch,
can't.
you better not say Moon
We
Knight.
did enough of Moon Knight because I even if I was like I didn't talk about it enough, or I didn't talk about it in great detail, or it wasn't just to my liking. We have talked about Moon Knight again, almost every podcast, and our love for Oscar Isaacs. I can put that on the shelf. I'm okay with that. But
Um, I don't know. I feel like it's very difficult to kind of pinpoint because it's like, oh, Star Wars. You don't really watch Star Wars, and we haven't been organized. Like everything's been very chaotic for us to like
mm-hmm.
line anything up for us to be able to talk about Star Wars. You haven't really seen Boba Fett. You haven't really seen um The Mandalorian. You haven't
Oh
really
yeah.
seen
Oh,
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I've seen Boba Fett. I just haven't
Okay,
seen. Yeah, because that was the only one I actually saw. Did I understand a lot of this stuff? Jack had explained it to me, but I haven't
yeah.
watched like Clone Wars. I saw The Mandalorian, the ending of Mandalorian. Um, so there was that. Uh, and but all the other Star Wars things, other than the films, no, I haven't seen like the shows.
Yeah, I can't really go like
I saw
full
the first
Star
two
Wars
episode of Obi-Wan though.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like I need like probably a good like 20 minutes and lose my shit in a future episode. I'm not gonna do it now. In a future episode to lose my shit over the fact that Robert Rodriguez is gonna end up directing Ahsoka, and I
What?
am upset. I am so
Have
upset
we
about
talked
that.
about this already? You were upset. I remember we talked about this.
I was so like
Yes.
we were at work. I see
Hmm.
it on Twitter, and I just lose my shit. Like I can't. I'm so mad about that.
No, I understand. I would be mad as well. I never watched Star Wars. Magnolia, it's okay.
It's big. It's big, girl.
It's big. It is big.
I was
Not
raised on the
hefty.
original trilogy. My dad took me and my sister to go see the prequels as they were in theaters, as they were coming out. Um, when the sequels were coming out, I took my dad to go see them on his birthday, up until the pandemic. Um, I like, oh, also like, I want to talk more about Star Wars Visions, which is the Japanese animation studios doing
Yes.
like their own little 30
Take
minute,
on
like 15 to 30 minute like stories.
Yeah,
I
their
want to
own
talk about
take on
that.
the Star Wars universe.
I'm in my room and I got a Funko Pop vinyl figure,
Oh,
and it's the Ronin in his B556, which is his droid.
that's
Um,
cute.
from the very first episode of Visions, which is the black and white one. And like I just want to talk more about Visions because it's very, very good. But I feel like we can't really talk a lot about things like DCEU because a lot of things aren't really happening with DCEU.
Oh God, we.
With Warner Brothers fucking more shit up.
So I was actually
Um,
about to say one of the I guess podcasts that I want to either do again or
yeah,
redo was the because we did a Marvel versus DC podcast,
yeah,
I believe.
yeah.
I want to redo it again because I have new comparisons. I have new comparisons. So that's why I brought this question up because in reality, what I want is to talk more about Marvel versus DC and how, especially now with CW kind of fucking everything over for the DC shows. Um, I really, oh, and you heard about the news about HBO, right? They're trying to, what is it, merge with Discovery Plus or something and create another site.
Oh,
I
God,
know it's
I need.
so much. It's too much. But that's
A
also
lot of
affecting
people
the
were
DC
really, really
shit.
mad about Discovery Plus when it first came out. Like, really, really mad.
Oh yeah. I
Um,
see Marvel for live action, DC for animated. So I want us to talk about that again just because with all the news coming out in the year 2022, I think there's a further divide. But I really want to go in depth on that for a later podcast
yeah,
because I would love to also hear your thoughts on it because I know you're a very big DC person. I
yeah.
mean, and I would love to go back to that because
I would
honestly,
specifically argue that I'm a very big Batman person.
yes,
Like the
yes,
Bat fam, Batman, Nightwing, Dick Grayson kind of thing. Is like I'm nearly exclusively a Batman
yes,
fan. Like I will get into other stuff because they have fantastic villains.
yes.
Um,
But I really want to go back. And again, we all know that your Batman is your boy Batman.
my boy.
So, but I want to go back and talk about it because
Yeah,
it's been on our mind and we talked about it once this week and I kind of really want to talk about it again.
yeah.
They want to lose cash. Yeah, there's a lot of
Mhm.
things going on with CW and the Arrowverse now that's
Mhm.
stopped because of the Flash, and there's a lot of news coming out or entertainment news in that sense.
Yeah, like that's we haven't heard any updates about
That happened
Ezra
this
Miller.
week or last week? Oh, yeah, that. Uh huh.
Oh yeah, Batgirl got canceled.
Mm hmm.
Also, they were working on not just Batgirl but Batwoman as well with
Yes, and
Ruby Rose,
but
and
they
that got
scrapped it.
canceled too,
Yeah.
right?
Mm hmm. They scrapped that one.
Which
They
is
were like, no,
weird because that is two female-led shows that they've canceled,
that's true.
and it's one of those things that's like Batgirl is a fucking classic. Barbara Gordon is a classic. Like you will never go wrong with a classic, and with how today's society is, it's like half the world would be fucking simping over Batwoman because
Mm.
she is a fucking mommy.
Hmm.
She is a mommy, and like our poor little brains would just be simping over her instantly, and I cannot fathom why, but I know why they would
Oh my god.
cancel that woman.
I was about to say, speaking of mommies, I wasn't big on She-Hulk, and you don't watch the trailers, which is fine.
I don't. I
But
don't.
I watched the most recent, and I can't. Oh God, I feel like I'm gonna enjoy it. I enjoy it as light. I wasn't into it at first, but now I'm kind of into it. But that's because of a character, another character I'm also obsessed with.
Well,
But
we've already talked
yeah,
about
we've
it. We
talked
know
about
why.
it. Um, but other than that, so I was very excited. So I really think that that's a topic we should do for a later podcast. Wink, wink, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, what about you? Is there anything that for you that you're like a podcast that you're like, I kind of want to talk about this or get more in depth or just bring it back out, part two, part three?
Hmm. I think we can always bring back.
Moon Knight,
I
of course.
we'll always bring up Moon Knight.
I know.
I think. Let me. How should I phrase this? I There isn't anything obviously other than what I've stated that like I have to like go back and talk about. I do think that anything we bring back up, because we are so ADD and so passionate about like anything we actually talk about, we can always talk more about. Like
Mhm.
I do think like animation, we can always talk infinitely about animation.
Mhm.
Um, Especially with how exciting that we're getting Spider-Man
I
2
was
and
literally about to
Spider-Man
say that.
3.
I was like, Into the Spider Verse is coming. I was
Yeah.
literally
I think
as
it's
soon as you were talking
Across the
about animation.
Spider-Verse for this,
Hmm.
but we're getting it next year, and that's very exciting. Um, so like I feel like we can literally talk about like any kind of animation, like anything we talk about, we can just talk more about.
Hmm.
A great example about animation is this week. Me and you talked about it, and I had a trailer for this before Thor: Love and Thunder. You had this like watching a video on YouTube. Was the new Puss in Boot movie,
Oh yes, we did. Because the
and
animation for that one was
I
different.
don't mind the animation. Like I think it's very good to like go into this non-realistic animation because we're starting to get into like very fairy tale style storytelling
Hmm.
for these Trek universe characters.
Oh, so hold on. I'm sorry. I was also reading chat. Nauseum. Um, when we found out Doc Ock was female, I can't tell you
I
how
mean,
many fucking cosplayer friends of mine was like, "Fuck yes, I can be her," and they went all out for the cosplay of
because she
Doc
like
Ock.
her reveal was perfect. She was like wonderful. She almost had like this hippie kind of vibe.
Yes,
Like
but she was
she was
also like,
fantastic.
I love her. I love the way they did it. Also the Shrek verse, yes. So I think because I wasn't able to properly explain it to you why it was rubbing me the wrong way, the animation for Puss in Boots in the Shrek verse was
Yeah.
because, and I know this now because I thought about it, right?
Mhm.
Is that they didn't keep the animation consistent. That's it.
That's valid.
That's
That
the
because
thing.
I've mentioned it multiple times how like inconsistent things bother me over
Yes,
vast
same.
universes,
I don't even know.
especially when it comes to like actors.
I was about to say, I don't even know if Antonio Banderas is still the voice actor. It just sounded
I think
different.
he is.
Like it to me, it
He's
just
older. It's been a
yes,
very, very long time since he's done Puss in Boots.
yes. Um, so that might be it. But like, I think it's a change that was so it wasn't consistent.
Yeah,
Um,
it's Antonio Banderas
mhm.
still, I suppose.
He's like a million now. Antonio Banderas will never age. Like if you
He's
see him
only
now,
61.
yeah,
He's
have you?
only
He
61.
doesn't age. Like he barely ages. He's kind of like Keanu Reeves, where you can see that he's old, but you don't see how he's aged. Like it's just It's weird. I don't know what they do in Hollywood. I don't know what they do to keep them young forever, I guess. Um, but yes, I love Antonio Banderas. Love him so much. When she says Latin word. Oh, okay. Listen, there's a reason for that, Kumo. I'm Mexican. There it is.
Yeah.
That's the reason. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, Antonio Banderas. The Puss in Boots thing. I think that's why. Because I remember we were talking about, and I couldn't quite pinpoint it. Now I know. Now I know why it's bothering me so bad. It's that it's not consistent.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that the animation is bad. By all means, it blends 2D and 3D animation, I think, especially 2D animation, because it's in the way of Into the Spider-Verse has done.
Yep.
That I can appreciate, because literally that one film paved the way for 2D animation to be back in the theater.
Right.
Because it blew up, and I will always appreciate that film for doing what it did. It may have been unknowingly, but it literally pushed the boundaries of what 2D animation can be, and I love it. Love it. He's like my tia. She exists in the same state for the last 50 years. Oh no. No, CMO, no. Sorry, I was reading the comments. All right. I have been asking these questions without asking you if you wanted to ask any questions. I always take the reign. I'm sorry. You can take the reins from me if you had another particular question for our 2-year extravaganza.
I mean, if I had a question, I don't remember it because, ADD.
No, that's a common thing.
Let's see here. We talked about favorites. We've talked about things that we cannot or that we feel we can't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Things that we would like to talk about either more of.
Mm-hmm. Also, if you guys want to ask us questions, please do. It is kind of sort of an AMA, but also to reminisce of our lives. Also, can I just say that these party hats are just so cute?
They're really cute.
Yes, you know what, Kumo? That's exactly what it feels like.
Yep.
Well, if you don't, I think I have one last question, maybe. Let's not, Ignacio. Let's not.
Like, I can't say. I've said most of them, but I can't exactly say most of mine.
Oh, God.
The Ricey being around me for, 3 years at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Just understands that, like, she's used to everything that comes out of my mouth.
Yes.
I used to actually have, like, a coworker when I worked at World Market just, like, cringe at some of the choices I would use for work.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm just like, well, like, I feel a little bad now just being like, hey, I am going to, like, intentionally use cuss words instead of just, like, it being a part of my vocabulary. Like, she didn't like the word cunt. But she thought the word twat was worse than cunt.
I have to agree. I don't know. It just sounds weird coming out of the mouth. But again,
what, that twat is worse?
Both of them kind of. No. I can't say. It's just so I guess it's just because it was never in my vocabulary growing up.
Yeah.
That it just sounds so bizarre.
Oh, these words were not part of my vocabulary growing up. My mom, at 31 years old, my mother still yells at me about my cuss words. And things like damn and shit and ass, she'll yell at me.
You know those angry TikToks you see me? So I'm sorry. For those who don't know, Abby has been with me so long that she's now on Latino TikTok. So she sends me
Oh yeah.
Latina TikToks of people yelling and cursing in rapid Spanish. That's my cursing. That's what I do in my head. If I could speak as fast as they could, that's what I would do. I get it, or I see. I hate that word. Even like if a girl uses it, feels reductive and sexist. It's one of the few cuss words I don't like. I I have to agree. I can't again. I haven't thought about it long enough to pinpoint why I don't like that. Or we're going to just do the last podcast why we don't like cuss words. Fuck it. Um,
And I'm here with the most vulgar language, and it's like, but there are we said slurs, so we're gonna just stick with cuss words, but there are slurs that are just like absolutely not okay. Like I will not.
I will fight somebody. I have no
Unfortunately,
problem with that.
our boss uses one of them.
Yes, and I have a problem with it, but I'm not gonna.
Oh,
We're
I
not
have
gonna
a
talk about it because I'm gonna get worked up. Don't work me up. I'll get all angry again. Anyway, so yeah, there's speaking of curse words, like there's some that I love and some that I'm just like, I'm good.
Fuck is a great word.
Fuck is the great
word.
universal cuss word. Fuck, I love it.
Yep.
Okay, so final question. If you weren't able to think of one, I have one, or not a final question, but a question. What is it, Abby, that even though it's impossible to do, you really want to do for the podcast one day? Like
it's
something just so beyond that you just really want to do one day. Maybe we can manifest it. For example, I would love Oscar Isaac to come and to do this with us one day.
Okay, so let me
like I'm talking about
what special guest you want to have on the podcast.
It wasn't necessarily a special guest, but we can narrow it down to special guests if that was easier. Because for me, I would love one thing for the podcast was to be able to have Oscar Isaac as a special guest. But we can narrow it down to special guests because then I have a lot to name. Oscar Isaac, please listen, Oscar.
There was like an animator that you would just
oh God,
die over.
Listen,
and like it was really early. You told me this really, really early on in our podcast, but I don't remember who it is. But you were like, I would die to have him on the podcast.
Listen. Okay, I remember that. Yeah. Hold up. Because the way that they animate was just fucking insane, dude. Sorry.
Well, okay.
But yes, so Oscar Isaac being my. Isaac. Oh my God, yes. Could you imagine? I would just let him talk to me. I wouldn't be able to like contain. I would just y'all won't believe it, but if there's someone who I highly respect, I will sit there quietly and let him talk to me. I don't care if he insults me. Please do. As Oscar Isaac and David Tennant. I would love to have David Tennant, but we.
Oh yeah, David Tennant would be like a lot of fun to have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Let's see here. I've always been like low-key obsessed with someone like Ron Perlman.
Also Glenn Keane, that's the animator. By the way. Sorry.
Who?
Glenn Keane.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, but go ahead.
I feel like I would just be too shy to talk to like a celebrity. Like someone like Ewan McGregor or like Dante Bosco or let's see here. Like I feel like a lot of these celebrities would not know how to function like around severely ADHD people.
Okay.
And that's what I'm concerned about. But
if
feel
there
like
was
there's somebody on YouTube like someone like on YouTube that is like could match her ADHD energy, like I would love to have them on.
All right. So
I would love to have Matt Pat on, actually.
that would be cool.
Honestly.
So the difference between that is, yes, I understand. I have ADHD. Believe me, I'm very well aware. However, comma,
Right.
I wouldn't let that stop me from interviewing this. Would it be unhinged? Yes. Would I warn them that it might be unhinged? Also, yes. Because like, but again, I always ask questions all the time. I would
Yeah.
ask the most random questions, and I would research, kind of like how we did with Cinderella, the questions I would ask them, and hopefully, if we do get a big guest celebrity, again, this is just wishful thinking, but if it happens and we manifest it, um,
Yeah.
let's say Ewan McGregor, right?
Yeah.
For the Star Wars universe, I would ask him all kinds of Star Wars questions as a noob who hasn't watched a lot of Star Wars, especially the shows and stuff. Or, but like, I want to see his take and the new show Obi-Wan Kenobi. I will learn. I will educate myself just so I can be like, all right, sir, I know nothing of this. Can you just talk to me about your character and what you love about your character and all this stuff? All that. That way they talk and
That'd
I
be
listen and I'm just like, just keep talking to me. Fucking keep
I
talking to
feel
me.
like I would love to have like a really, really nerdy guest. So someone like Matt Mercer. I don't watch Critical Role. I don't like follow him. Like I don't play Overwatch or anything like that. I feel like Matt Mercer would be a
Yes.
lot of fun to have on because he is really
Yes.
nerdy. Or like Henry Cavill, who is really nerdy. Like I feel like we could function very easily with like a very nerdy person. And the reason why I'm
Agreed.
like I would probably have like the same reaction as Nassim have and like have a freak out. Um is because it's like I have always liked Ewan McGregor. Like from episode one of
Yes.
Star Wars. But
So
he
so Jack
problem
Black,
they
it would
had
be
Ewan
the best
McGregor
guest.
in the prequels was that he kept making lightsaber noises
Oh
while
yeah.
rehearsing the
Yeah.
fight scenes and actually executing the fight scenes, and they had to keep telling him to stop making the noise because he would move his mouth.
Oh
Um,
no.
actually no. So like I think I realized who my absolute number one person I would love to have would be Ray Park, who is the um the body of Darth Maul. He's not the voice actor for
Oh,
Darth Maul in the animations, and he is not the voice of Darth Maul in Solo, but
okay.
he is the body. Um, because I really, really admire Ray Park for all of his action sequences. Everything in Episode One of Star Wars. I can weirdly tell if it's Ray Parks or the other body double in Sleepy Hollow because he was the
Mm.
one of the body doubles for the Headless Horseman. Like, I would love to have Ray Parks on. He's also Toad, in X-Men, the original
Oh,
X-Men
I
live
see, I
action.
see. I was about to say, if
Um,
we're talking nerds, I didn't mean to interrupt, but like when we were talking nerds, I was like Jack Black, motherfucking
yeah,
Jack Black,
yeah. No, I feel like Jack Black would like he would vibe perfect with us because he's so laid back and such a weirdo in like
like
the
us,
best way possible.
like us. So Jack Black, if he just happens to hear this podcast and you want to just join us for ADHD Badoofery, please let us know.
But Doofery,
Yes, I'm here for it. Okay. Um, but yeah, okay, going by that, you said Ewan McGregor, but who else? Because I already named like three or four that I'm not. I'm shy. Don't get me wrong. I am shy. But behind this
yeah.
screen in my comfy chair, I won't be. I won't be. I'd be like, yes, please talk to me.
No, I would. For me, I would. I would. I just know myself too well. I think I would also really like to have Jason Momoa because he was in Stargate Atlantis as like a recurring role,
Yes.
and I would love to have him on. Did not watch any of Game of Thrones, so I
Oh,
don't know
I
anything
have seen it. Yeah.
about that role.
Mm-hmm.
What Dragon or whatever his name is,
Mm-hmm.
but like I could get along with Jason Momoa.
I agree.
I would love to have like
I think it
Natalie
would be great.
Portman or Emma Watson on.
I would. I was about to say I love Emma Watson. I love her
Hmm.
to pieces. She's awesome, and I would love to have her join us as well. I can see, I can see your concern of having like celebrities and everything, but again, this
Yeah.
question is impossible things that maybe
Yep.
one day could be possible. Um, that is one. I would
Hmm.
love Emma Watson to come as well, because she's just fantastic, bro. She's fantastic. Um, or any other, if there are, we need to look up who's some nerdy celebrities that we can invite to our show one day. Just in case, just in case.
The dream guest.
The dream guests. um because I think having all of those, I think would be pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like I'm down for it. Bunch of nerds, and I'm here for it. uh but yes, so I think that would be the final question, unless you had another person of interest.
Mm. I feel like Simu Liu, who plays Shang-Chi, would be a blast.
Yes,
Because
he seems like a
he acts
fun.
like a fucking dork.
Oh
So,
yes.
what's his name? Bruce Banner's actor. What's his name?
I don't remember. Hold up, I gotta look. We were just talking
Uh,
about it. Literally, we were talking about Hulk. Hold up.
uh, all I can think of is Bruce Banner. I can't remember it.
I literally
I'm
just typed
struggling.
in Bruce Banner actor. Mark Ruffalo. Oh my God, that's his
Mark
name.
Ruffalo, thank you.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
had to
I
even.
saw his face and I couldn't picture. I have
I
a
think
problems with that.
those two guys would be fucking hilarious to have on because they're such the biggest nerds to everybody else.
Oh yeah.
Like, Mark Ruffalo was like the original like fanboy for the MCU.
Oh yeah.
So
That's why
he would
That's
be
why they
like
kept him around. That's exactly why they kept him around. 'Cause he's the biggest
but also
MCU
like Simu
fanboy.
Liu is like acting that way now where he's like he goes out and meets other people from like other franchises and things like that.
Yeah.
And he just like loses it. Um
That would be me. I am an unhinged fangirl. That would be me. Anyway, I agree. I think that would be like a fun. I would love to have like a fun guest like that, because we don't take things too seriously here, and we need to
no, we
have
don't.
guests that understand we don't take things too seriously here.
But
We
we
just
also
don't.
need them to understand that it's just like just roll with it. Don't question where the thought process came from, just go with it.
Exactly. Exactly. I agree.
We're gonna skip 6 subjects and take a side road and we're gonna like
And you're just gonna
go
have to
with
come
it.
with us. Yeah. You're just gonna. We're dragging you along. I'm sorry. You chose to be here. Oh man. But yes. So I think that's everything. That's all the questions I had. Did you want to go ahead and wrap it up, or did you have another question before we end?
Um I do. I think I have a question.
Yes.
What was your favorite thing coming out of this podcast?
My favorite thing coming out of this podcast
Not this episode, but the podcast
in
in general.
general.
Yep.
All right. Well, this might be a little. Maybe this is a little sentimental. Should I put some sentimental music on? No, it's fine.
Mhm.
I think the greatest thing coming out of this podcast is for us to be able to finally have a place to just nerd out. Because, like you said, at work, people get scared when we get so excited and hyped up about things in our ADHD brain, in our ADHD way.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to do that growing up. Again, this is sentimental, so I wasn't able to do that growing up. Like, be able to talk nerd things in an
Mhm.
exciting way, because I was always told to like calm down, fucking calm down.
Yeah.
Um, but having a podcast where I can do that, and being able to do that with other people watching who are just as excitable as I am, or laugh with me, or like they're like, oh, Ricey's going off hit. She's going crazy mode. I can appreciate that. Like everyone who sticks around understands how my personality is, and they are like, yeah, this is fine. We can vibe with this. That's what I think was the best part. It gave me a lot of self-confidence. That's for sure. And you can see when I stream to my personal Twitch that after the podcast, I have become much more open to my own stream. And I think this podcast has helped me with that.
Yeah.
Is that too sweet of an answer? But that's the truth.
No,
so
mine's kind of like the same thing. It's
Aww.
like, it's kind of a safe space
Yeah.
in a sense. In that it's a dedicated moment where I can talk about things that I want to talk about. Like we agree on what we're going to talk about, but like it's agreed upon subject, and we do tend to keep to that subject so I can get it out of my system.
Which is a miracle. I know.
Because it's like, I think you having ADD kind of understand the situation where it's just like you want to talk about something and it builds up and you don't really have an outlet to talk about it. This allows me to talk about it. This absolutely like allows me to geek out, because my husband is an extrovert. He will talk my ear off about Magic the Gathering, D&D, that I don't fully care about, but I love him, so I listen to him. And this gives me, and he'll monopolize the conversation a lot because he has a big personality and a big voice, and he takes control of the conversation. This allows me, especially with me and you being as close as we are, and us working, like consciously working on sharing a conversation, like understanding ourselves enough that we know that we each are really bad about like interrupting one another. We've worked on it like outside of the podcast, interpersonally, and just like have strove to like learn to work with one another to share a conversation.
I think that shit's
so like
important.
This is kind of like a safe place where it's like I can just go completely ham on any kind of topic that we've agreed upon.
That's so sweet. I feel like we definitely need this podcast for both of us,
right?
For those reasons, which is why we ain't going anywhere soon. Bridge,
nope.
You're stuck with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good answer. That's so sweet. And we obviously are not going to run out of things to talk about.
No.
Our brain does not work like that. I was about to say, our brain doesn't work like that at all. Like, at all.
Nah.
Stuck with us until DMCA takes us down. Nah, man. We'll fight. We'll fight for our right to part. No, I'm sorry. Oh, thanks, Magnolia. I know you just started getting here, but I hope you stick around because we literally talk about all kinds of shit.
All kinds of
shit.
Oh.
You can't fight Disney. Don't be a fool.
We can't fight them. We'll go out in a blaze of glory. Yes. That's for fucking sure. I do think that like one thing I would like to continue to talk about, but it's just like I just have to wait at this point, is I want to talk about Hazbin Hotel. But there's nothing to talk about.
And Hell of a Boss.
I am pretty pissed that Hell of a Boss season 2 is already out.
Oh yeah, we got to talk. Okay, so I've okay, all right, listen. I know you have your qualms about Hazbin Hotel.
And they're justified.
They are justified. But I do want to talk about Hell of a Boss. I know you haven't watched it. But we need to talk about Hell of a Boss because like, it just I have my own opinions. Anyway, we definitely got to wrap it up now.
But that's going back to basically episode 1, what started this whole thing.
Exactly. Can you imagine that it literally? I was about to say, isn't it crazy that this entire podcast started because we had our own opinions we had to voice out because of Hazbin Hotel?
It's
That's
crazy that I
insane.
needed to rage about Hazbin Hotel.
To the public, so everyone could hear. And
Yeah.
that's what started it. And then we're like, you know what? We could do this as a hobby every weekend, and
Yep.
we have more or less,
More or less.
more or less. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching. Oh wait, who are you? You gotta announce that.
I am at Mickey Ree. You can find me on Twitter and on here. And kicking Ricey's ass in Splatoon 3 when it comes
Whenever
out.
it comes out, if we ever have any information, Nintendo.
That's me saying hi in the chat. You can find me pretty much anywhere with that exact same spelling. Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff. I'm most active on Twitter, so you can hit me up there. Like Nasium did, sent me that hilarious Beth. And so who the fuck are you, ma'am?
Oh, I am a bowl of ricey. Give me a second. That's me. All right, that's me. I'm a bowl of ricey, and you can find me on Twitch at a bowl of ricey, and on Twitter at a bowl of ricey. I was like, wait, what else? Those are the only two things I use. That, and you can see me getting my ass kicked from Splatoon 3. You say kicking your ass in Splatoon 3. For all the info we know, maybe the controls will be running. Rice will beat you. Maybe, but that's not likely. I know myself.
That's not
I'm literally just do my own thing.
We got to remind people because it's coming up and we just got to keep them aware that Splatoon 3 comes out September 9th. So we're probably not going to have our podcast September 11th.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is important. We've been waiting for this all year? It was almost been all year.
5 long years.
Yeah, well, maybe for you. For me, it was much shorter.
The Switch came out in 2017 with Splatoon 2. I have been waiting 5 long years.
Just live stream the game. Oh.
And the first Splatoon came out in 2015. I have been waiting so fucking long for Splatoon 3.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what it's gonna be. Yeah, I'm super stoked. But yes, so sorry. That's me. That's where you can find me. And where can you find us?
At here, I gotta get over this one.
I got it. I forgot you're doing other things. Okay. Okay. There you are. You can find us on Twitter and on Twitch at What's Your Opinion Podcast or What's Your Opin 10 on Twitter, where we normally try to engage, but sometimes we're very forgetful. All right, it's either we send a bunch of TikToks on Twitter because that's what we do in real life, or we don't talk about like anything. ADD
How
things.
How does Ricey know when she's neglected Abby for too long?
Yeah, I have a long TikTok list,
especially curated. How many unviewed TikToks Abby has sent her.
That's absolutely true. But yeah, so that's where you can find us. On Twitter, mostly we just engage there. And if you have any questions or if you want to give us a topic to talk about, just hit us up on Twitter. Bye, Magnolia. Have a good day. Have a good week. And to everyone else, have a good day, good week. Stay safe, please. I know the world is crazy and it keeps getting crazier this year. But yes, I hope you guys stay safe, and we will see you next week. Next week for a new topic. Thank you guys so much for joining us for 2 years. That's insane. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you guys so much for sticking out for this long. And yeah, have a good one, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.